Well, I think the heart of all good fiction is character. And when I look at the real world and I look at real people, I don't see cardboard heroes. I don't see villains who get up in the morning like a comic book and say, oh, let me do evil today. I see people who are driven by their own demons and their own dreams. I see very complicated people who have the capacity in them to be heroes and the capacity in them to be villains, to do evil, to do selfish things, and frequently in the same person. All of us have things that we've done in our lives that we're proud of, and all of us, if we're honest with ourselves, will look back and say, I've done things that I'm ashamed of. That's the glory of human life, I think, that we are these wonderfully gray and complex creatures, and I want to capture that in my characters, that to my mind that makes them real. Even a fantasy setting, the characters, the people need to be real. William Faulkner, in his Nobel Prize acceptance speech, said the only thing worth writing about is the human heart in conflict with itself. And I've always believed that to be true, and I don't think genre matters. It doesn't matter if you're writing science fiction and they're on a distant planet and they got there with a starship, or you're writing fantasy and there are dragons in it and wizards, or you're writing a mainstream story about growing up in New York City in the 60s is what motivates all the best stories. Although it all interests me. I mean, battles and wars interest me too, and medieval feasts interest me, and I'm creating a whole world here, and every facet of it, as I get to it, I try to approach it as realistically as I can. But ultimately, as I said before, it's the human heart in conflict with itself. It's what makes Cersei Lannister the way she is, and is she capable of learning and changing? And what drives Dany? With Dany, I'm particularly looking at what effect great power has upon a person. She's the mother of dragons, and she controls what is in effect the only 3 nuclear weapons in the entire world that I've created. What does it do to you when you control the only 3 nuclear weapons in the world, and you can destroy entire cities or cultures if you choose to? Should you choose to? Should you not choose to? These are the issues that fascinate me. I don't necessarily claim to have answers to these. I think exploring the questions is far more interesting than just me giving an answer and saying to the reader, here's the answer, here's the truth. No, think about it for yourself. Look at the dilemmas, look at the contradictions, look at the problems and the unintended consequences. That's what fascinates me. I do, actually. I know the end, and I know the what's going to happen to the main characters anyway. There's a few secondary characters, and I'm still trying to figure out, should they live, should they die, where will they wind up. But the main characters I've known for a decade.